All right, now shifting focus, after several rounds of talks that ended in a stalemate, India and China are all set to hold the 16th round of Corps Commander talks at Moldo today. The talks will begin at 9:30 a.m. on the Indian side at the Trishul-Moldo meeting point, and the 16th round of talks comes as part of efforts by both nations to take forward the stalled process of disengagement and de-escalation in eastern Ladakh. Now, my colleague Abhishek Jha, who tracks the MEA, is joining us to give us more details on the line. Abhishek, what I wanted to ask you is essentially that the Dalai Lama, during his visits to Jammu and Ladakh earlier this week, he made some remarks on China and India-China tensions. Is that likely to figure in these talks that are being held today?
We are not sure about because the Dalai Lama, mostly whenever there is certain visit, it's diplomatic corps of China that reacts to Dalai Lama's visit. This talk that is going to happen between India and China is essentially a military commander level talk where they are likely to discuss about the disengagement along the eastern Ladakh sector, where both the sides have amassed thousands of troops and heavy weaponry over the last 2 years, ever since the Galwan clash has happened. Aisha, this is the 16th round of commander level talks that is happening after a gap of 4 months, and that is again going to discuss disengagement in eastern and southern sector. This talk also, which is happening on the Indian side, is happening in the background of External Affairs Shankar meeting Wang Yi on the sidelines of G20 in Bali last week, where both sides have discussed the issues of border row, and they have reviewed the progress, and the Indian side has raised the issue of that the disengagement process should be completed at earliest. So this is the background in which this commander level talk is happening, and so far there has been 15 rounds of talk, and this is the 16th round of talk that is happening today. And any concrete decision that the two sides reached or not, we'll be able to know some information after the meeting comes out, which will be somewhere around late evening.
Okay. Abhishek, I also want to bring in our colleague Tejinder on the line to give us details on this story. Now, Tejinder, what I wanted to ask you is, can you give us more details about why that Trishul point has been chosen as the meeting point?
This has to be symbolic. If you see in earlier meetings also, there have been meetings which take place on either the Chinese side or the Indian side. This is the meeting, the 16th round. It is taking place after a gap of 4 months. The last meeting was also held on the Indian side, which is the Trishul-Moldo meeting point. It was held on 11th of March this year, and now after a gap of almost 4 months, this meeting is happening. You see, there are still many friction points on which this disengagement process has not happened, and we have seen that in the past 2 years, both the sides, be it India or the Chinese side, they have hardened their stand. We are told that in today's meeting, the focus would be on the disengagement at patrolling point 15, which is in the Gogra hot spring area. The efforts would also be to discuss disengagement from Demchok and Depsang. These are the areas which have been the friction points between both the sides. Last week there have been a meeting between Indian Foreign Affairs Minister S. Shankar and his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi. And both of them, they said that they want disengagement of troops in order to restore peace and tranquility in border areas along the LAC between India and China. And we have seen that now this friction, this standoff between India and China is entering its third year. In the 2020 clash in the Galwan Valley was one of the bloodiest clashes between the TLA and the Indian side, in which we lost 20 of our brave hearts, and the Chinese side also suffered significant casualties.
Absolutely. Tejinder, I just want to request you to stay with us because we have